Vishnu Sahasranama, meaning and translation. For those of you who are wondering what is this Vishnu Sahasranama, why we're doing this, we've been studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and Rupa Goswami says that whenever we have done any offenses towards the deities, towards the holy name, towards the devotees, then the remedy is to study Vishnu Sahasranama, to chant the holy names of 1,000 names of Krishna. And see, every stotra, every specific incarnation of Krishna is connected to a specific number. For example, okay, Lord Ram, he was the 7th incarnation and he was born in the 7th nakshatra. And there is many connections to the number 7 in Lord Rama's incarnation. So 7 kind of belongs to Lord Ram. So like that, you know, Vedic culture, Vedic mantras, and incarnations, it's very intrinsically connected with numbers, because numbers has a spiritual meaning. Every number has a spiritual meaning behind. So now when we're speaking about Sahasranams, there are many kind of Sahasranams. There's Lakshmi Sahasranam, Ganesh Sahasranam, even there is Narsingha Sahasranam. There's so many Sahasranamas. The most like popular of all the Sahasranamas is this Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram. And even Vishnu Sahasranam, there are 2 Vishnu Sahasranamas. One is in Mahabharata and one is in one of the Puranas. I can't remember right now, but there are 2 Vishnu, Padma Purana. But this Mahabharata, Vishnu Sahasranam is known like the garland of Mahabharata. And the pendant of that garland is the Bhagavad Gita. So because Bhagavad Gita comes also in Mahabharata, right? So Vishnu Sahasranam is another necklace, the pendant that Krishna actually loves, the glorification of his holy names directly. Now, the number connected to Vishnu Sahasranam and Mahabharata is number 9 and 18, specifically speaking. For example, there are 18 Puranas, and there are 18 days of Mahabharata war, and there are 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And then there is 18 is like 1 plus 8, 9, and there are 9 planets. So the frequency is number 9. So 18 is the number of Mahabharata and Vishnu Sahasranam. So when Bhishma Dev recited these, this is known to be beneficial for the whole humanity. When he answered Yudhishthir Maharaj's question about Kimekam Daivatam Loke, he gave the answer that this is, you know, millennium after millennium, when Krishna appears, and he has appeared in this particular form, and as Krishna is standing there in Kurukshetra, he's speaking about Krishna's form. He says that the names of this personality, for this people of your, he means to say Yudhishthir Maharaj, the emperor, as an emperor, all the human beings, when they recite these mantras, then 9, why is this 9? 9 is a very specific number. Why is this 18 such a specific number? Because even in our life, this number is very crucial, very critical number. So it is said that the nadis, you know, there are the nadis in the human body, and the scientists, and there are like a group of people, you know, like these brahmanas who are doing scientific research, and they figured out that this particular vibration of Vishnu Sahasranam 1008 names, by chanting it, all the nadis get cured. In fact, after quite some time, I started reciting yesterday, right? And I had that, like, the intensity of this vibration can be felt. And like I told you, you may find a little bit of a headache or a little bit of this intensity in the body, like little fire, but then you will see after 2-3 days, you will hear some good news, some job offer might come up, some money thing may get sorted out, some conflict may get resolved, and some health issues. People are being cured of cancer, people are being cured of all kinds of diseases as well. So today we are studying Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary on the Vishnu Sahasranam. I have the book here, and also we'll be studying on the comment. Yeah, Baladev Vidyabhushan is our main source in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. He's our reference here. So anytime you have any question, you can ask me. So today what we will do is go over like the basics. We start with our, Sri Vaishampayana Vacha. We start about how when Vyasadeva, he's speaking about all these different subject matters, and Yudhishthir is asking Bhishma about what is the formula for everlasting peace, how my citizens can be peaceful. And Baladev Vidyabhushan starts his commentary from that particular verse. He doesn't start from the first verse of the Vishnu Sahasranam. He starts from the invocation mantra, which is Shrutva Dharmana Sheshena Pavanani Cha Sarvashah Dishtirashantanavam Punareva Bhyabhashata. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, as he's asking the question how to bring peace, he says, Baladev Vidyabhushan says, I offer respects to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, because our secret incarnation, the Gupta incarnation, is Lord Chaitanya. And in this Vishnu Sahasranam, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's secret is also revealed here in a couple of verses. And Baladev Vidyabhushan, being a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, he starts his prayers and he says how Krishna, who is endowed with many forms, and his three Shaktis, the one of unlimited auspicious qualities, all-pervading person, full of knowledge and bliss, let him bestow auspiciousness upon us. This is all Baladev Vidyabhushan. I praise Vyasadeva, the son of Satyavati, the guru of the sages, who is directly Narayan. I surrender to Vaishampayana, who took pleasure in the nectar of pronouncing the name Achyuta. I offer respects to Bhishma, son of Ganga, dear to Krishna, who is the best of those who know all persons requesting fulfillment of desires. I offer respect to all present in the assembly who relished the topics. May Murari, the essence of consciousness, reside at all times in our hearts. By his mercy, the king of the elephants became sinless and ended material existence. He's speaking about Gajendra here. So the names of Krishna, which fulfills the desires of the reciter, which Shesha utters out of ever fresh bliss in all his mouths, simultaneously remain ever victorious. So these mantras are kind of programmed, you can say. These particular names of Vishnu that Bhishmadev recites, it's endowed with the powers to remove all sins, to remove all offenses, and to empower us. On a mundane level, we can say, it will remove all the negative karma, like all the planetary doshas will be removed by reciting these mantras, and it will open doors for spiritual identity of ours to shine through more. Okay, now he continues to offer respects to the devotees of the Lord who take the Lord's name as their only goal. By their mercy, there will arise nectar in the meaning of names. And then he glorifies, among all the Puranas. In this way, Vaishamayana is glorified in the Puranas. He was the dear disciple of Vyasa and a sage. Though not requested to recite these verses of praises, he speaks to King Janamejaya out of friendship and mercy, starting with this verse because the verses were most excellent. Yudhishthira heard from Bhishma completely about dharmas, a king's dharma, as well as others' dharmas. He heard about tirthas, pavanani, and other purifying objects completely. He inquired from Bhishma an abode of peace. Yudhishthira Maharaj asked this on request of Krishna. Shri Yudhishthira uvacha kimekam daivatam loke kimvapyekam parayanam stuvantah kam kamachanta prapnuyurmanava shubham. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, according to the scriptures, who is the object of worship and who is the one object of all auspiciousness? And men will attain auspiciousness by praising whom and by worshipping whom? This is Yudhishthira Maharaj's question. And grandfather Bhishma is lying on the bed of arrows, and he is endowed with wisdom, and he is perfect in his dharmas, and he is perfect in his brahmacharya. He has studied all the Upanishads, all the Vedas, along with all the limbs. He is the Mahajan, according to Srimad Bhagavatam. He's one of the 11 Mahajanas. And he knows how to be relieved of all the material sufferings, all the pain. He's in fact right now in this battle, he's lying down on the battlefield. He's waiting for the Uttarayana to happen to leave his body, and his body is being pierced with sharp weapons, and actually he's free from pains. And so Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he approaches Bhishma, it looks like, right, his body is pierced with all these arrows and he's bleeding. But actually, Bhishma Dev is a mystic yogi, and he's not at all in that kind of pain.
From 1 plus Nord 25G.
Alexa, stop. Sorry. And so Bhishma Dev is full of knowledge. So he's giving us, he's giving Yudhishthir Maharaj material and spiritual secrets. So when we're trying to perform devotional service, if we're not having good health, if we're not economically stable, if we don't have like peaceful, harmonizing relationships, it becomes difficult to perform devotional service. So here Bhishma Dev is giving a very sensible advice, having been asked already generally about the highest truth that should be known. Bhishma is now going to speak in this way, as Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking him. So he's asking, right? Kimekam daivatam loke kimva pekam pranam. According to you, my dear Bhishma, who is so wise, who is the chief? Who is that one object that we should devote? How should we do it? Parayanam, how should we chant to please that Lord? And praising and worshipping which particular deity? Should we worship Rama? Should we worship Krishna? Should, like he's asking specifically, what kind of auspiciousness can all mankind derive? And what kind of, how to attain that highest good by worshipping and glorifying the actions and qualities of which person? So he's asking actions and qualities, and Bhishma Dev so beautifully recites all these names which are specifically revealing different natures. See, there are 27 nakshatras. Even, by the way, that also comes to 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. So in astrology, everything is like that. 18 and it will come to 9, or 27, it will come to 9. 9 is like the key number, this very mystic number. So there are the third and the fourth questions that Yudhishthir Maharaj asks, and he says, Ko dharma sarva dharmanam paramo bhavata paramo matah kim japan muchyate jantur janma samsara bandhanat. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is a pure devotee. He's not going to ask, oh, how my citizens can be economically developed, how my citizens can be materially happy. He's not asking that. As a duty of a king, he needs to make sure that the citizens are happy, peaceful, economically developing. But his main goal is Jantur Janma Samsara Bandhana. He's asking by which type of chanting can they attain everything, and especially how can they become free from the bondage of birth and samsara. Among all the dharmas spoken by you, which is the highest dharma, without effort gives results according to you? What's the easy way? Because Yudhishthir Maharaj is considering not just the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas, he's considering the Vaishyas and the Shudras and the women and the children, how everybody can benefit. Okay, and then the fifth question Yudhishthir Maharaj asks is about what kind of chanting, how to chant in a way that they can derive all that. Now, it says, how to become free from bondage of birth and samsara. And birth indicates being born and falling into hell. So that's nature, because when we are born, we'll, like Rupa Goswami is saying, we'll naturally commit some offenses, but we need to consciously put efforts to get rid of those offenses. Samsara is the ancient karmas, which are the cause. Right? We have all these samskaras from many lifetimes. We have been, who knows, butchers. Maybe we killed who knows how many cows. Maybe we killed brahmanas. How many sins we are carrying on our back. So we become bound up by all these sins. And then those sins, it'll obstruct us towards the goal of life. In this lifetime, all these karmas will come up: bad relationships, bad health, bad different difficulties, material difficulties. And then that bondage will again cause another obstacle to progress in spiritual life. So the sixth question he asks, this is Bhishma Dev answering. He says, Jagat Prabhum Deva Devam Anantam Purushottamam Stuvan Nama Sahasrena Purusha Satatotitaha. Now he's coming to the main conclusion. Bhishma is saying the person who is constantly absorbed in praising the most excellent, infinite person who is worshipped by all the devatas and is the master of all living entities in the universe, surpasses all suffering. So after being asked these 6 questions by Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhishma is answering that the first question among them is a one-line answer, right? But it's very detailed. What is it? Daivatam. So the question was, which is the deity, right? The chief object of worship. And Bhishma is answering, he's the master of the universe, who is composed of moving, master of the universe, who created the moving and non-living entities, who is worshipped by all the devatas, Deva Devam, and who's unlimited, Anantam. He's unlimited in his qualities and prowess. And he's Purushottamam. So he is not bound by any of the modes of material nature, and he's free from the bondage, and he's always eternally liberated, and he can give us liberation. Then skipping the order out of enthusiasm, here this is Baladev Vibhushan saying, skipping the order out of enthusiasm for that present topic, he proceeds to the third question in the second line. The person desiring the highest goal, being constantly engaged, satata otitaha, like Vishnu Dev is super engaged, praises the highest person by the 1,000 names which will be described. He glorifies the highest person's qualities and activities. This answers the 6th question. So this verse is connected with the statement, he thus surpasses all suffering. So what he's emphasizing here is faith. The main thing is faith. What this recitation will give us, it will give us faith. And by meditating on him, we will gain that ability to be able to praise him and offer respects in appropriate ways as a pure soul that can derive the benefit of chanting of the holy name. It's like, I used to imagine like this when my grandfather would teach me these mantras and all, and I would ask him, what's the benefit? What am I going to get? I'm not going to get even a marks card or something. Oh, something. If you have a question, yes, Snehavati, you have a question? Skipping the order. It means that Bhishma Dev is answering the third question before he's answering the 2nd question, because he's already very eager to bring up the topic about 1,000 names of Vishnu. So Baladev Devashan is saying he's so eager, Bhishma Dev is so eager to answer the 3rd question that he skips the 2nd question like that. Because the 2nd question was, men will attain auspiciousness by praising whom and by worshipping whom. And he's already jumping to the 3rd answer. He's answering it so eagerly, like he expresses why, the order of the questions. The answering of is not in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Not like that, right? Devotees also have their own interests and tastes. So when they answer a question, like sometimes you ask somebody 3, 4 questions and then they'll start answering with the 3rd one. Then you know that they like the 3rd question more. So they're answering from that. So it's very personal. And then he answers the 4th question. Says, oh yeah, the 2nd question was, what frees one from bondage? Yeah, and then the 3rd was, man will attain highest good by glorifying the actions and qualities of what person. So he's very eager to tell the answer. He skipped the question, what frees you from bondage? He skipped it. And he went to men will attain highest good by worshipping who, what qualities we should act, that one he jumped to that. Okay, then he answers the 4th question, the worshipper, Yajamana, praising Krishna, Purusham, and worshipping him with faith, Bhaktya, constantly surpasses all suffering. That's the verse number 6. Bhakti means service or a figurative meaning, as well as faith, division. Okay, Bhakti means service or a figurative meaning, as well as faith, division, and a roundabout way of speaking. How does one praise the Lord? One praises him by worshipping him, by offering him food, water, and other items. He concentrates his mind upon the Lord's form. Dhyanam. That's why when we start Vishnu Sahasranama, we start with Dhyanam, means we hold the image of the Lord in our mind and we start meditating on his form, on his attributes, on his qualities, on his leelas. And then we offer respects with 8 limbs. Namasyan, when we say namaskara, right? It's not just some speculation. It's the way that, like I said, all the nerve endings and all the bodies in a proper position. And we do that. It's the way to say, Krishna, with all my 8 limbs, I'm offering you my obeisances. The Lord is described with in that way, with dhyanam and with namasya, means with 8 limbs we offer our obeisances. So the Lord has eternal form, qualities, powers, and pastimes. Avyayam. The Lord is avyayam. It is not a fault to repeat the word tam in this verse, since it is used in different statements. Anadinidanam Vishnum Sarvalokamaheshwaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvannityam Sarvadukhati Go Bhavet. So all these words are, remember, this will come, we are studying Bhagavad Gita also, there it will come again. Sarvalokam will come, Lokadhyaksham will come, Dukkhati Go Bhave, Dukkha we know, in Hindi we know what is Dukkha. So it says here Tam, where it is coming, Anadinidhanam Vishnum Sarvalokam Lokadhyaksham Stuvannityam Sarvadukhati Go Bhavet. Let me see what else it says here. What does it mean? It means praising the all-pervading Lord, who is the eternal shelter, who is the great Lord of all planets and their leaders, and who is the witness of all beings. One surpasses all suffering for all time. Actually, I wrote a book on this, Vishnu Sahasranama. I wrote nakshatras, different nakshatras, how like every nakshatra has a specific quality. Like 5 Pandavas, they're all of different natures, right? Bhima is like very challenging and powerful, and he can eat mountains of food. And Yudhishthir Maharaj is so pious and so sober and so peaceful and so harmonizing. And Arjuna is like that very romantic, very flirtatious type of person. So every nakshatra has a specific nature. And here it said how Krishna, he's the Lord of all planets. For example, in Vedic astrology, the Lord of Sun is Rama. Lord Ram is the Lord of Sun. He's the Surya Vamsha Tilaka. He's like, how do you say, the head of the Surya Vamsha, and he also happens to be the Lord of Sun. So anybody has doshas, sun planet is positioned badly, which affects relationship with father, which affects health, which affects career, which affects a sense of self-confidence. Basically, like sun is a planet. Here I am Yadu, like Surya Kula Tilaka, like Ram, very exemplary, very shiny personality. Wherever he goes, he spreads light. He's very selfless. He's very free from, nothing can shine brighter than sun. So like Ramachandra's personality was like that, very bright, and for the sake of image, means he wanted the name of the father to prevail. So he left everything and he went to Vanavas, went on exile. Why he did that? To uphold that, and he didn't do it with any resentment or victimhood. He never said, oh, poor me, I have to go. He didn't do like that. So sun is like a very confident planet. So sun is Lord Ram, and moon is Krishna, of course. The Lord of moon is Krishna, and the Lord of Mars is Narshingadev, and the Lord of Saturn is Kurmadev, and the Lord of Rahu is Varahadev. The Lord of Ketu is Matsya, and then the Lord of Venus is Parashurama, and the Lord of Mercury is Buddha incarnation or Hayagriva incarnation also. So in every planet, did I leave out any planet?
Jupiter, Mataji.
Jupiter is Vamanadev. Thank you, Ashka. Jupiter is Vamanadev. Vamanadev is the Lord of Jupiter. By the way, look at that interesting connection, okay? Vamanadev is the Lord of Jupiter, Graha. And Shukracharya is the, like, see, all the Vishnu incarnations are on top. They're all the prime ministers or the presidents of top. And then there is chief ministers. So Venus is Shukra Graha. So the chief minister of Shukra Graha is Shukracharya. Is the head. But above Shukracharya is Parashuram. Okay. And in Vedic astrology, Shukra means Venus, and Guru, which is Jupiter, they're enemies in Vedic astrology. For example, if somebody has a strong Jupiter, they'll be weak in some Venus areas. And if somebody has a strong Venus enjoying mood, their Jupiter will be weak. Jupiter is the planet of religiosity, expansion, wisdom, all that. And Venus is the planet of enjoyment. I mean, Shukracharya, okay? Imagine what all Venus is connected to. Enjoyment, pleasures, wealth and wine and women and perfumes and luxury. All that is Venus. People who have very strong Venus, they are very always well dressed. They always have pretty clothes, and they always like to put on makeup, and like typical characteristics of Venus will be seen in them. Now, in the Vamana Leela, we see that Shukracharya is telling Bali Maharaj, don't give charity to this little boy, right? Because Shukra is very much about selfish comforts. He doesn't like to give easily to others anyway. Plus, Jupiter and Venus are enemies. So Vamanadev is the lord of Jupiter and Shukracharya is Venus. So there was conflict right there. You can see the conflict that happened. And Bali Maharaj didn't listen to Shukracharya. He actually rejected the Guru. And he actually went for pleasing Vamanadev. There's a lot of Jupiter. So every story, if you look into Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find psychological connections with planets and what happens and how the relations are. It's all very meaningful. For example, moon, Krishna, right? Krishna. He doesn't see anyone as an enemy. Even Putana, he will give her nurse position. He doesn't care about seeing anybody as enemy. And in Vedic astrology, there's only one planet that doesn't see any other planet as enemy. Every other planet sees somebody as an enemy. For example, Saturn will see Sun as an enemy, and Sun will see Saturn as an enemy. There's something called mutual enmity. Like that, right? But Moon is Ajata Shatru, means he doesn't see anyone as an enemy, because that's the nature of Krishna. You may see him as an enemy, and you may go and give him poison. You may feed him breast milk smeared with poison. You may go and try to kill him, but he will say, oh, so sweet, she's coming to feed me. He'll forget the point about poison. He'll only see that, oh, she's trying to feed me. And then if you go and bring him a banana, and then you're so excited to give him the banana that you forget to give him the banana, you throw away banana, you give him banana peels. Krishna will say, so sweet, she's so much in love with me that instead of banana, she's giving me banana leaves. So then he'll accept the banana leaves also. So Krishna is like that. If your intention is messed up, agar intention kharab hai, so he'll see your action. And then he'll see, oh, so sweet, you're coming to feed me, because Putana's intention was very evil. But he says, no, your action was so nice. She came to feed me milk. So he will not see enmity there. But if you give him banana peel, and then he will say, he will not look at action. He'll look at the intention. He'll say, oh, look, so much love she has for me. She's giving me banana peel instead of banana. So it is said that this is the quality of Krishna also, that Rukmini Devi appreciated the most, that Krishna will not see faults. Krishna will not see enmity. If you come and throw him stone, if you want to punch him, if you give him a good fight, he'll give you a good fight. He'll not run away from that. But he doesn't see anyone as enemy. And it's so fascinating that even in Vedic astrology, Saturn, for example, the planet Saturn, he sees moon as enemy. Okay, Saturn doesn't like moon. He doesn't like sun also. Saturn doesn't like most planets except Venus. So he will look at moon and say, you're my enemy. But moon is like, whatever, I don't see anyone as enemy. And like that, the relation is like very much based on personality. So Krishna is the Lord of Moon. So he doesn't see anyone as enemy. So these are very useful for us to understand. And so individuals in our lives, those who are Enneagram type 2, meaning those people, we have strong mood. Naturally, we are loving. Naturally, even if people are bad, we'll always try to see good in them. We are naturally compassionate. So when we have strong moon in a person's planet, you'll see those are the personalities. They're very easily forgiving. They're loving. They're kind. They can be moody. Moon can be moody planet. Krishna can be moody, but loving, compassionate, kind, Okay, so there's a solution for every type of person. That's what Bhishma Dev is revealing here. You have a strong moon, but you have a weak Mars, no problem. Chant Vishnu Sahasranam. You have a messed up Mars, you get angry easily, you get irritable easily, you have bad relationships. Chant Vishnu Sahasranam. So it's very practical. Sorry, I'm just going to plug my computer. Just so by chanting the holy name of the Lord, which consists of the two basic syllables, Ha and Ri, Hari, a person in bondage becomes liberated. It's in Skanda Purana. Are you able to hear me? My voice is breaking in the middle for Snehavati. I don't know if it's my connection. Can you just give a thumbs up if you're able to hear me clearly? Otherwise, I can stop my video and just go on audio. Okay, you can hear it. So maybe Snehavati Mataji, I think maybe something with your connection. Your video is off anyway. Sometimes switching off video, the connection improves. And here, the secret is coming. Shraddhaya. Oh, best of the Bhargavas, if any person chants the name offenselessly, even once, be it with Shraddha or with derisive indifference, he will be delivered. So Mahabharata says that, even like people like Shishupala, right? He was constantly offending Krishna, constantly offending Krishna. And what did Krishna do? Finally, he gave him the Sayujya Mukti. He actually went, the soul went and merged inside Krishna's body, and everybody could see that. Everybody could see that this soul of Shishupala was merging inside Krishna's body, because he was constantly absorbed in Krishna's name. So even if we chant inimically or with indifference, so interesting, right? He was so much committing offenses, but still, because of that intensity, it's better somebody who chants with intensity and sincerity. Of course, better to chant favorably, yeah, and don't chant with enmity. So liberation is hard to attain by visiting tirthas, austerity, samadhi, and other means. There's a song by Dasara and Vaishnava Acharya. He says, Yesukayanಗಳ ಕಳೆದು 84 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜೀವರಾಶಿಯನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಬಂದು ಕಾಶಿ ವಾರಾಣಸಿ ಕಂಚಿ ಕಾಳಹಸ್ತಿ ರಾಮೇಶ್ವರ ಯೇಸು ದೇಶ ತಿರುಗಿದ್ದರು ಬಾಹುದೇನೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದೇನೋ ದೋಷರಾಶಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣವೇಣಿ, all these rivers, all different holy places. If we go and dip in holy waters and everything, there's no use if we don't become the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and identify our identity as a servant of the Lord. There's no hope. So one holy name chanted with faith can derive so much power, even to an animal. Mahabharata says even to an animal. So it's an offense to think that, oh, the glories are exaggeration. You can actually, I'm not saying you should test it, but you can see, you join one day for Vishnu Sahasranam. If you have some difficulty in your life and you just think, Krishna, please help me sort it out. You chant it, even after one day, you will get something amazing news coming and you're like, wow, this is powerful. So here, of course, Vishnu Sahasranam is very much chanted by people who have some material desires also, okay? But we are chanting it with the intention to follow Rupa Goswami, to clear ourselves of offenses, because offenses can bind us. So we want to be free from offenses. And to also, if at all there is a benediction, we want pure love for Krishna. We want the taste to chant the holy name of Krishna. So if Vishnu Sahasranam can give us, right? But it gives everything, because Krishna here it says, Kirti Vardhanam, by performing these dharma, fame, knowledge, detachment, appropriate intelligence to do actions, whatever desired can be given. Okay, let's see. Any questions so far? So many beautiful verses are here. about glorifying Krishna, how Brahma and Shiva born by mercy and anger, right? Brahma was born by mercy and Shiva was born by anger. And the best of the devatas, having been shown the method, became the creator and destroyer of the universe. So it's all mercy of the Lord. Okay, any questions? Okay. एष मे सर्वधर्माणां धर्मोऽधिकतमो मतः यद्भक्त्या पुण्डरीकाक्षं स्तवैरर्चे नरः सदा. So Krishna, he creates Brahma and Shiva, right? And by even they have their moments, we can say. They also sometimes get bewildered, but Krishna will never get bewildered. So sometimes they are also like looking forward, like Sadashiva becomes Advaitacharya. He's waiting and he's inviting Mahaprabhu to come. And Brahma becomes Haridas Thakur, chanting. He became the Namacharya. So Brahma and Shiva also, they come and participate in Mahaprabhu's pastimes because they want to know the Lord. And what better way? You know what? We cannot know Bhagavatam unless we understand Chaitanya Leela. Bhagavatam is impossible to attain if we cannot dive into Mahaprabhu's glories. Okay, so Snehavati Gandharvika is asking, is not moon planet material? So yeah, all these astrological planets are in this material world. So moon has Chandra as the Lord, like I said, chief minister or something. But then there's a prime minister, which is Krishna above all of them. But each of these graha are directly the person, the avatar ruling that particular planet is a particular Vishnu avatar. So moon planet is ruled by Krishna only. Ruled meaning he gives it in charge. You know, there's a story. Just to make you understand simply, how did this 9 planetary thing happen? Krishna was only in charge of everything, okay? Sun and moon, these are the major 2 planets, right? Sun, Surya Narayana, that's also Narayana only, Krishna only, is incarnation or like Amsha, is the, how do you say, the energy of Krishna only, Surya Narayana. So in the beginning, there was only sun, and then moon, sun, moon. Then these 2 planets were thinking, oh, so much land to take care, meaning so many elements, aspects. So they decided to put a, sometimes we call out for election, not election, yeah, kind of election. When we say we have nominations, right? Please apply. Like I'm doing now, Bhagavatam classes, different Vaishnavis will give, apply which date you want to do. So like that, there was an opening, and Surya and Chandra, they announced, okay, who wants to come and apply for these posts? These are all posts, okay? Like Chandra Graha, Surya Graha, Buddha Graha, Guru Graha, Rahu Graha, Shani Graha. These are all the planets. Each of that, and then you can become the head of that, like becoming a chief minister. So you apply for the post. So first, the fastest planet is Mercury. So as soon as the auction or the application opened, Mercury applied. So Mercury, Sun and Moon both said, fine, I will give you. So Moon gave Mercury Gemini, which is right next to his house. I have to show you, let me show you the chart so that you can understand what I'm saying. See, these are all servants of the Lord. They all create all these karmas. Krishna creates all these planetary grahas and everything so that our actions are taken record of. Yeah, I think you can see it on this file. Let me just share the screen. These are kind of general knowledge type of questions. Okay, Kulavati already knows because she studied astrology, so she knows what I am talking here. So you see, this is sun and moon, everything belonged to them. Then they finally said, hey, openings, who wants to come? Mercury jumped first, is the fastest planet. So moon said, okay, take this is yours. Moon gave this Gemini to Mercury. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And sun, Leo is sun planet ruled by sun. So sun said, I'll give you Virgo. So sun and moon both gave one planet to Mercury. Then the next planet is Venus. Venus is also quite a quick planet. Hey, what about me? I'm here too. Give me a planet. Then moon gave Taurus to Venus, and sun gave Libra to Venus. Then came Mars. Why are you not including me? Because Mars is a very passionate, aggressive planet. So Mars comes in and says, hello, here I am. Please, where's mine? And then so moon gives moon gives Aries to Mars, and sun gives Scorpio to Mars. So Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Then Jupiter comes. Jupiter is a very wise planet. He'll come at almost the end. He'll come, but not the end. He comes, and then moon gives him Pisces, and sun gives him Sagittarius. So Pisces and Sagittarius are ruled by Jupiter. Then finally, Saturn will not come, because Saturn will be feeling very sad. And Saturn is a planet like that. Somebody who has strong influence on their chart of Saturn, they'll usually feel victim, and they'll just feel bad, and they'll just, like they won't come forward sometime. They'll just sit there and feel sorry for themselves. So what Venus did, because Venus is the best friend of Saturn. Venus is always nice to Saturn. So Venus goes and says, hello, my friend Saturn didn't get anything. He's also very qualified. Why don't you give him a planet? So moon gave the last one, it was Aquarius, and sun gives Capricorn. So basically, each of these planets get their own like planets to rule. So yes, they are, you can say, material, but they are all under Krishna's control. And the purpose of those planets can be spiritual, especially for all the living entities. We're supposed to learn lessons. So we go through our cycles in life and we learn lessons. So these planets are instrumental in teaching us lessons. So like if people don't work very hard, they don't practice humility, they don't practice patience, perseverance, respect, then Saturn will give them trouble. But if we can be all that, hardworking, kind, humble, what else did I say, patient, virtuous, like that, then Saturn won't give trouble to that person so much. So every planet is like a professor in the university of life. They all have some lesson to teach us. So it's, in one sense, the purpose is ordained by the Lord. The Supreme Lord gives different aspects to different planets. Hey, you teach human beings this. So when we become devotees, what happens when we chant Krishna's names, we glorify Krishna, when we take shelter of Krishna, what happens? We become more willing to learn those lessons quickly, because we don't want to waste time. Some people get stuck, one planet, they'll be stuck all life, or that planet only will be driving them. They don't move much. So there is no guarantee, if you go planetary way, there's no guarantee that you will advance in life. Sometimes, some lifetimes, people only get degraded. They drink, they smoke, they abuse people, and they degrade. Next lifetime, they'll be born as an animal, or born with leprosy, or born without legs and without hands. And so not every lifetime is a guarantee that you'll progress. But when we take shelter of Krishna, when we glorify him, when we understand his qualities, that guarantee is given. Because when we become devotees of the Lord, certain qualities will develop in us. We'll say, oh, we have to give up this. Okay, I'll give up. Oh, I'm not supposed to enjoy this and do austerity. Okay, I'll do. No, so it's like very easy. If you go to the Prime Minister directly, you don't have to go to 25 states and please every chief minister. Because by worshipping the Lord, you get all the qualities. So amazing. But at the same time, Krishna, he has specific incarnation he takes with specific mood. For example, Nashingadev. You know what is the rasa? Rupa Goswami reveals that every incarnation is a particular rasa. Like Nashingadev. Anybody? Any guesses?
Anger.
No, Vatsalya.
Vatsalya.
The mood, the rasa behind Nashingadev is Vatsalya. So sweet. So every incarnation, Rupa Goswami reveals about the incarnations. So Mars is that kind of protective planet. Like Nashingadev protected. I know, right? Nashingadev and Vatsalya is like, what? I was also amazed when I figured that out, and I felt so good because I always call Nasimha Namappa. I call him my father. I've always had that relation with Nashingadev. He's my father. Like, who else can protect like Nashinga? Who else like that? So Mars planet is the commander-in-chief in the kingdom of your life. So the very planet which can defend you in times of trouble, which makes you fight the war and win that war and battle, is the Vatsalya, is Nashingadev, Vatsalya, the mood of Vatsalya, which means protection. So like this, every planet has a specific mood, and every deity, every incarnation, he has a specific rasa. And in this Vishnu Sahasranama is that culmination of those rasas, of those qualities, and harmonizing the human existence can happen by chanting each of these mantras and invoking the Lord. So some of these mantras, actually I should bring my book and show you. Actually, I can show you in my, I have it on the website also. If you want to read this nakshatra book that I wrote, every nakshatra is ruled by specific demigod also. Aryaman, Mitra, Varuna, different nakshatras are ruled by different demigods. And if you read the qualities, you'll see that those qualities match those demigods. Some demigods are more fiery, some demigods are more ambitious. Some demigods are very peaceful, very soft. The nakshatra with the Varuna and all, they're very creative people. Like that. Then when you look behind that in Vishnu Sahasranama, the verse which connects to that nakshatra, that will be glorifying Krishna's creative qualities, Krishna's ability. It's amazing. It's far out. Because Krishna has these 4 personality types. Krishna has 4 personalities. The 4 are Dhira Lalita, Dhira Prashanta, Dhirodhatta, and Dhirodhata. Which means Dhirodhata is like Lord Ramachandra personality, which is very grave, very, very elegant, very like exemplary, not like jumping on Kaliya and kicking Kamsa, not that kind, the different personality. Whereas Krishna is Dhira Lalita. Jokes with the gopis and lies and manipulates and crookedness and whatnot, steal the garments of the gopis and complete naughtiness, go and steal butter from every gopi's house, and when he gets caught red-handed, then he'll change his form, shape shift himself to look like the child of that gopi and create so much funny stories. All this is Dhira Lalita. So Dhira Lalita type of personality is Krishna's. We can see that in certain nakshatras. Some personalities are very funny type of demigods. And human beings also, when they're ruled by those nakshatras, those planets, they're very light-hearted, they're very fast, they're very fun-loving. They'll not stay in one place. They'll be going here, there. They'll go to Vrindavan, and then next day they're in Puri, and then next day they're in Vrindavan, and they don't listen. They'll just say yes, and then go and do whatever they want. This is Dhira Lalita. That's nature of Krishna. And then there is Dhira Lalita, Dhira Prashanta. Dhira Prashanta type of characters like Vamanadev, he comes, tricky boy, he comes in the form of boy, he'll take the whole world, but he'll come very in disguise and very quiet and Dhira, very peaceful, right? No drama, nothing. He'll come peacefully and like that. So Dhira Prashanta. And then there is Dhirodhata. Dhirodhata is when he becomes very angry and then kills all the demons and makes a mess, Varahadev, Nashingadev, that kind of personalities, which is like Gora. So Krishna himself has those four. From that four sprouts every other personalities in this world. And we are all tiny little sparks of Krishna, right? So we all have that little spark in us also. Kaksha. Okay, let's see. Let's see how much we can cover. I have 5 minutes left? Yeah, we have like 7 minutes. I wanted to come till Shishwara. Actually, we're starting almost here. Okay, I think I should read some more glories of holy names in the form of 1,000 names. There are many references Baladev Vidyabhushan gives from Rig Veda. Omasya janato namachid vivaktam mahataste Vishnu sumatim bhajame om tatsat. Oh, you who know the Lord's name, Om is spiritual, should chant it. Because Vishnu Sahasranam starts with Om Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro. That's the first word of the Vishnu Sahasranam. And then this is Padma Purana. Prabhupada quotes this verse. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purana Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinnatvam Nama Namino. The name of the Lord is Chintamani. It is Krishna himself, a form of consciousness and rasa. It is complete, pure, and eternally liberated, since there's no difference between the name and Krishna himself. And thus the Shakti of the Lord is in his names. So actually the power of the name is in the holy name. That's why we call him Nam Prabhu. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, one is delivered from all hellish conditions. Just as a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. That's the potency of the holy name. This person has performed, this is another shloka, Srimad Bhagavatam, Ayam hi krita nirvesho janma koti amhasam api yadvyajahara vivaso nama swastyayam hare. This person has performed atonement for the sins of 10 million births, since he has spontaneously chanted the auspicious name of the Lord. One of the songs also says, Bettadanta papavannu Hottiruve nanu Adda suttu bidu Purandara Vittalaya neenu. It means, my dear Lord Krishna, I have been carrying a sin which weighs as much as a mountain. My soul is carrying so much sin like a mountain. But your holy name can shatter that mountain, like that, burst it into, like, they put atom bomb and then the mountain breaks, right? So the analogy given about the holy name is it's like the bomb which will be kept at the mountain of the sin that we are carrying, and the explosion of that suttu bidu means blast it out. My dear Lord, blast it out. So even 10 million births, 10 million birth of sins can be, by spontaneously chanting Krishna's name with faith, it can get rid of that. Then japa is the supreme dharma among all dharmas. Mahabharata says, Japastu sarva dharmabhya parama dharma uchyate ahimsa cha bhutanam japa yagya pravartate. Also, we hear it, Japanam japa yagyosmi. We have heard that Prabhupada quoting. This is from Mahabharata, same thing. So violence is against dharma. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, non-violence is accomplished, which means devotees are merciful. We are always merciful. So this shows the greatness of the holy name. So Krishna is the object of that worship. Just as out of fear of Krishna, the wind blows. Out of fear of him, the sun rises. Out of fear of him, fire, Indra, and death, the fifth, run. This is from Katha Upanishad. Pavitranam pavitramyo mangalanam cha mangalam. Okay, we can end with this one. Pavitranam pavitramyo mangalanam cha mangalam daivatam devatanam cha bhutanam yo vyaya pita. So Krishna is the purest of the pure and the most auspicious among all auspicious. He is the most worthy of worship among worshipable beings. He is the indestructible father of all beings. As if glancing backward like a lion, the first question is again answered. Who is the supreme object of worship? He is the purest among pure items which destroy all the sins, just like the Ganga. He gives these items the power to destroy sin. See, Krishna gives power to Ganga to destroy the sin. He's most auspicious among persons who destroy obstacles, such as Ganesha. He gives them the power to destroy obstacles. He is the supreme object of worship, Daivatam, among all the worshipable beings, such as Brahma. They have their positions because of the relationship with him and because they worship him. He is the origin and protector, Pitta, of all beings. He is the indestructible. This distinguishes him from the recent fathers. So he is the beginning, he is the end, and he is the way also. He's very unique. Krishna is very unique. So this is Bhishma Dev saying, so hear from me the 1,000 names of Vishnu. Bhupate, Bhishma is calling Yudhishthir Maharaj Bhupate because he's become the emperor now, which is going to destroy the sin and fear of all your citizens. Yeah.
When you finish?
11:30, 2 minutes. Jai. Okay. So, paying obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Bhishma Dev, may we gain the empowerment to relish these holy names and the meanings. Every Saturday we will study the translation, different verses. So many beautiful meanings are behind every word. When we'll start, next week we'll start. We just have, actually next week we'll start already, yeah. Because right now we are basically, we finished the Mangala Charana verses. They're all Bhishma Dev indicating the glories, why this needs to be chanted. And how these holy names is like the bomb that can deactivate the human being's sinful propensities. And yani namani gaunani vikhyatani mahatmanaha rishibhi parigitani tani vakshami bhutaye. It's not ordinary to hear these mantras. We are so fortunate. Somehow or another we got these holy names. So Bhishma Dev is saying it's very rare. Even the great sages, they are blessed to get these names and they are glorifying the Lord's qualities. And they can, this is secret to attain human goals, these mantras. So this is like a Vaidurya gem. Like I said, they say that Vishnu Sahasranama is like the gem of Mahabharata. Okay, so any questions or comments so far? Next week, we will start from the first, there are 108 shlokas. We'll start from the first shloka, Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. So today was basically like preparation, preparing our hearts to relish these holy names and to glorify Krishna and his qualities. And I suggest before the next time, if you don't have, I can help you. You can send me your date of birth. I suggest that you figure out your nakshatras. I can give you that your list, which nakshatra, which planet is in which nakshatra, and then you can find out your specific mantra, the mantra which will relieve you from your whatever karmic bondage. Then have those mantras ready, and as we are studying the deeper meanings, I mean, you can read my book already, but when we are discussing, more things will come up on that topic. So I suggest that you can do that. Yes, Trikaya, thank you. We addressed this in the last talk, last class. So it is said that like Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. So 1,000 names of Vishnu is equal to 3 names of Lord Ram. So yes, and Krishna's name is equal to 3 names of Lord Ram. So that Maha Mantra is not just enough. It's meant for pure devotional service. It's meant for Prema Bhakti. And Snehavati, you send me your date of birth and I'll tell you your nakshatra and everything. So Vishnu Sahasranam is meant for a specific purpose. Like chanting of the holy name is meant to give us pure love for Krishna. And Vishnu Sahasranam is for a specific purpose, as Rupa Goswami says, to remove our inclination to perform sins and to remove offenses or offensive tendencies that we have in us. Because we're supposed to approach the holy name with purity. The more pure our consciousness is, the holy name gives us the result. And Vishnu Sahasranam removes offenses that we have committed knowingly, unknowingly, and it removes the tendency to commit sins and the tendency to perform offenses. Okay. So every, like I said, every incarnation, every mantra has a specific purpose. We can't expect the chanting of the holy name to go and clean our bathroom, right? That is meant for a higher purpose. We have to go take a harpic, take a brush, go and clean the toilet. So sometimes we have the tendency to think, oh, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough, we don't need anything else. Yes, it's enough to develop pure love of God. But, as long as we can develop pure chanting, but to get there are so many sins and anarthas that stops us from. So whatever can help us to chant the holy name purely. Okay, so these are all like aids. They are not, it's not Hare Krishna Mahamantra or Vishnu Sahasranam. No. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the Yuga Dharma. But Vishnu Sahasranam can help us to do that better. I have this book, it's so good.
Thank you, Mataji.
In the evening, and I have this book, it's so good. Every chapter it says what is the theme, what's the benefit, the Gita Mahatmya of it. I sent it in the group. I don't know if you're part of that group, but I sent some of the pictures there. We're doing first chapter. We'll do it for 1 month. We'll do chapter one. Like today we'll do English, tomorrow we'll do Sanskrit. One day English, one day Sanskrit of first chapter. So we'll do like that for 1 month, 1 chapter. Then it will become part of your system. 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. we do India time. So those of you watching later online, if you have any questions or you want to figure out the nakshatra thing, you send me your date and all, and then I'll give you your chart. I can share right now how that works. For example, I'm sharing a screen right now, and in the corner of the screen on the top right where my mouse is moving, so here I will send you something like this. I will send you like a screenshot of this, like this. I'll send you, and then I'll send you my book. And then what you have to do is go and figure out.
From 1 plus Norton 5G.
And then you go to the book and you find out where is Uttara Bhadra Nakshatra. It'll come like, I'll send you like this, all the names. So in my book, I have given which mantra is for what and what is the nature of Purva Phalguni, for example. And then you'll get the number of the division here. Pada 4, Pada 3, Pada 4, like that. There are 4 padas, which means there will be 4 mantras. Every nakshatra will have 4 mantras. And if, say for example, Anuradha, if your moon nakshatra is Anuradha, and here it says Pada 4. So in that page, you will see Anuradha and there will be 4 verses, and the 4th one will be your specific one. Like that. So you read the description of that nakshatra, and then you go to that mantra and you find whichever the division of the thing, that mantra. Like it says Ashwini number 1, which means there will be 4 mantras on that page, and the first mantra will be yours, your Rahu's nakshatra. So your homework task will be to, I'll send you this. This you can't calculate yourself. You'll need my help. I'll do this part. Then you go and you find out in the book, which you write like that. Sun, and then you say, you write down, sun is Chitra, and this is number 3. Moon is 4, and Mercury is number 3. And then you'll get your mantras. And I have these cards, I have prepared my own cards. Venus, I wrote like this, Venus, and then I wrote Purva Phalguni, and I wrote the mantra, which will come in the Vishnu Sahasranam. And ideally, it'll be so empowering. If you do your specific mantra every day, 21 times, 21 days, it'll empower you. Basically, like imagine ropes of karma surrounding us, anger and greed and fear and all this anarthas we have. So by chanting that specific one, it'll like loosen up. It'll loosen up and loosen up. A specific nakshatra mantra will free you from that particular karma. Like that. Depends on how much you have and how much with focus you chant. But this is the best astrological remedy ever. No stones, yagya can cure you like these mantras. So for those of you watching on YouTube, you can write to me. So thank you very much for your attention, and Vishnu Sahasranam ki jai, Bhishma Deva ki jai, Mahabharata ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupa Goswami ki jai, Baladev Vidyabhushan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.